Move on to topic two. Topic two, a little bit different. Want to talk about some video games, and I kind of want to talk about the Soulsborne type games. So your Demon Souls, your Dark Souls, your Bloodborne, your Sekiro, your Elden Ring. Why these games are so loved and so hated. Now, this is coming from someone who has played some of these games. I've attempted Sekiro, gotten, from what I feel, pretty far. Attempted Bloodborne, didn't make it far at all. Started Demon Souls, and then am carefully watching Elden Ring and being like, dang, that looks fun, but do I want to put myself through that? Now, for those of you guys who don't know, these games are notoriously very difficult. Very difficult. And a certain part of the video game audiences love that shit. And they kind of, get off on it. Weird. But they're very vocal and defensive about how difficult these games are. Oh, this is the best game ever because it really puts gamers to the test. And I feel like blah, 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 blah. It shouldn't be accessible. There shouldn't be an easy mode. And in one way, I get it. You'll want a challenging experience. Totally fine. If that's your thing, you want to have this game that challenges you, totally okay. On the other side of things, obviously I understand the people who want accessibility, whether it's, making the game more accessible to people who, maybe don't have the capabilities to play it fully. Have some kind of handicap to them. Or just want like an easier game mode, because these games are very pretty. Gorgeous games. Big, vast open worlds, interesting story behind them, and there's a lot of content there to be enjoyed. But unfortunately, with how the games are, there's that wall of you could play it, but you're only going to get so far. Maybe not even the first boss, because just nope, some of the boss is too difficult. I get hit and half of my health is gone. I totally understand that. And that can be a factor that pushes people away too. And I can attest to this as well. Sekiro. Love Sekiro. Sekiro was a great time when I played it. At a point, you can only die so much before it gets frustrating. It gets infuriating, and you don't want to play it anymore. Because why would I waste? Why would I use my time on this game where I'm not progressing? There's no forward motion. It's literally the same thing, the same result. I can try it different ways, but it's going to end up the same. And eventually, you stop, you quit. Where's, it's frustrating. I get that. So what am I trying to say here? I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass. What's the good things about the difficulty? What's the bad things about the difficulty? Well, obviously, we just covered the bad. Not accessible to people. Fall off of interest. Steep sometimes. What's the good part of the difficulty? Obviously, it's rewarding for the player. You accomplish something. You really put that time and effort in there. And it seems like it's that hill to climb. It's that goal to accomplish. That's great. However, there's got to be something that I feel they need to be better at, including everyone. And I know the hardcore like Soulsborne gamers hate that. And it's so weird because I don't understand how person A's experience affects your own experience. And if you want to be petty and be like, oh, well, I conquered this game or I beat this game, I should be on this upper echelon, treat me good, that's stupid. I never go to somebody on any other game and be like, oh, what difficulty did you play that on? Did you play it on normal? Did you play it on easy? Did you play it on... No, I don't give a fuck. Did you enjoy the game? Did you enjoy the story? Did you enjoy the game mechanics? That's all I care about. I'm not like, oh, did you do a Halo 3 Legendary Edition with all the skulls turned on and play through that? Fuck no. That's difficult as shit too. No, like, it's just, it baffles me that people are like that. Once again, not against you liking a challenge. Hell, I'm playing Sifu on stream. That game's pretty challenging, but I enjoy the shit out of it. Like, it just baffles me that some people are so opposed to anyone else enjoying what they enjoy if they don't enjoy it the same way. Just odd. But anyways, I'm getting a little bit on a tangent there. So the Soulsborne game, I think they're great because they got great story, they got great lore, and I think as someone who doesn't play them often or play them far, it is really cool to kind of experience the world just by watching it. Shout out to Maximilian Dude, A Platypus, and Chilled Chaos. These are some people that I've watched play. Max has played Bloodborne all the way through, Sekiro all the way through. Chilled and Platy have played, I believe, Demon Souls, Dark Souls a little bit. And seeing the world through their, playthroughs, just really fun. Like, seeing the insanity. I'm going to use Bloodborne, for example, and Maximilian Dude. Like, I never made it far into Bloodborne. I think I made it to boss 3, and that was my wall. That was my stopping point. And seeing the insanity of, like, that world. So it starts off with, like, this gothic, medieval-esque setting that has, like, werewolf-esque people and, monsters and stuff. Seeing the rain come down like that, sorry. Seeing the world transform into this, like, really high fantasy, but then almost alien-esque, like, people around and, like, enemies in there is just like, whoa, this game is a lot deeper than what I thought, just from, like, the face value. It's really cool to see. And then from Sekiro's point of view, like, the samurai, era and that, like, setting, just fun to explore. See all of the different buildings and the structures going into the buildings, and seeing, obviously, also the fantasy setting of, like, some enemies just in the cave with their spirits and the souls fighting around. And the big-ass giant snake that you're dealing with. Just really fun and interesting to explore. And that's something with Elden Ring coming out, the most recent of these type of games, where it's a big open world. I'm like, damn. Is this something I want to jump into? And I that gameplay element, that difficulty level is like, that's what's holding me back. Not because it's difficult per se, but because I'm like, how far am I going to really make it into this? And it's a little unfortunate because there's all this to explore, but I can only see the tiny little bit for myself. Hey, so there's that. But games are very popular. Games are very exciting. Happy for the people who do get enjoying them. I'd like to play more of them or hop back into ones previously. I keep talking about Sekiro, but Sekiro is one that I personally really, really enjoyed, especially when we're playing on stream and off stream, just kind of grinding through the same areas over and over again, building the confidence with it. Just a lot of fun to play. And yeah, you get to that point where it becomes too difficult, boss is beating you up too bad or killing you over and over again, whatever. And thinking back on it, it's interesting how sometimes these games change how you play them. And what I mean by that is, with a lot of games, we're kind of trained almost to kind of go guns a-blazing. Shooters, duh. But like story mode games, like progress. Attack. Be aggressive. And games like this, definitely, like, if you do that, there's a small window, small chance like you can succeed. But I feel like it's fun to see how it makes you play. And I know that sounds weird, like the makes you play. I don't feel like it's a forceful thing, but there's some times where like if you change how you do something, your results go skyrocket. And like the more defensive approach helps. And it's kind of fun. It's like, oh, it's almost like figuring out a puzzle. Okay, this isn't working. How do I make this work? Maybe if I, attack patterns, watch those a little bit more and figure out, okay, this is the strike that will give me an opening. Or maybe I'm a little bit more defensive and I parry or I counter, I do this. Figuring those things out, I think adds to the rewarding experience as well for players. And that's fun. And these games do a great job of it compared to other games where simple sounds a little bit playing down on stuff, but like you don't have to do anything a specific certain way. You're playing a shooter, just shoot the guy. You can shoot him in the head technically, but it's not that big of a difference of like, oh, I shot him in the head 5 times. Shot him in the body 5 times. I shot him in the head once. Like, you don't see a lot of people like methodically being like, puh, puh, head, unless you're a speed runner or something like that. Like, you're not gonna fail per se if you shoot him in the body that 5 times. Like, it's not that big of a what's the frickin' word? Revelation that you discover. Like, oh my god! Like, sometimes with these games, that's what it is. It's just like, oh, I have everything. I'm making sense. But maybe I should try it this way and go down this path instead of forcing it this way. Holy shit, that worked. That was fun. Makes me feel good, And yeah, these games I feel do a great job of that. Once again, that sense of accomplishment. And yeah, I don't know. I just kind of want to talk about it for a little bit and be like, hey, there's good stuff with these games. There's bad stuff with these games. That fan base. But yeah, just, I wish more people could experience it for themselves in a way that they want to. Because, once again, there's a lot of good stuff in there. Whether it's, the boss fights and feeling that sense of reward, or it's just the lore, the world. And watching stuff, yeah, you can get that, but it doesn't feel the same. Like, I'm sure some players, this is a total sidebar game, but like The Last of Us, experiencing that for yourself, not knowing anything, you could probably get a lot more out of that than someone who's heard a lot about it and keeps hearing how it's the best game ever. Me. And like, to those people, like, I'm not jealous, but I'm like, oh, you got something out of this I did not. I'm happy for you. And I'm like, what am I missing? And, every game's obviously different for people, but it's different when you experience things fresh and for yourself compared to a secondhand experience, like watching somebody. So when people are forced to do that because the game says, no, you can't play it X, Y, or Z way or at all, it's just unfortunate. So there's that. I don't know. Just a Dark Souls game rant. Having some fun talking about that. But this has been another episode of the Wait What podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live usually every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You join the chat if you're a subscriber over there like Papa Griff did with us today. We'd love to have you in on the conversation. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. And go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week where it drops topic by topic and is put in one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, #ad merch store. Get all your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us. We would love you for it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today for episode 124. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed Revolution. Hope you guys enjoyed the Soulsborne talk. We'll be back for more episodes next week and the week after that and after that and after that. Thank you guys for giving this a watch, giving it a listen, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care.